Suggestions on radio talk shows and on social media platforms that the Nevis Island administration cannot sustain itself without financial support of the federal government are inaccurate, said Premier Mark Brantley. Brantley said in the first instance, the NIA is not receiving financial support with federal funds, which is a common belief aired on several talk shows. Brantley felt it was important to correct that belief during a recent press conference.
For my own purposes, I want to be very clear that the federal government has not granted Nevis anything, and there are no federal funds that Nevis has received. None. I want to be pellucid on that. I think that language is very important when we engage. All that Nevis has received is a portion of the citizenship by investment proceeds that have come to the country of St. Kitts and Nevis for the negotiation of a document, that document being the passport of St. Kitts and Nevis, which in my respectful view is owned as much by you as it is by the post and cotton grower. We are one people, one country. And this notion that I've heard, even sometimes from the politicians, that Nevis is somehow getting help from St. Kitts, that's nonsense. And I want to say that very clearly. It is abject nonsense. And I think that language has to go away.
And even on the proceeds received from the Citizenship by Investment Program, Premier Brantley indicated that the proceeds received are not yet at the level due to the NIA.
Let me go back in time. When we put this unity construct together, and we negotiated three parties, PAM, PLP, and CCM, the issue of citizenship by investment flows was one of the critical issues. You know why? Because under the Labour NRP administration, Nevis got nothing. Whenever some little money trickled over the Narrows, they put a word next to it in the ledger, loan. And when money was spent on our sister island of St. Kitts, the ledger says grant. Two different words, two different meanings. And we had a problem with that. So when we sat to negotiate, one of the issues that we put squarely on the table was it had to be a more equitable dealing with citizenship by investment flows. Now, why am I emphasizing that? It's because I want the people of St. Kitts, Mr. Bard, to understand that this has nothing to do with St. Kitts people money. It has nothing to do with VAT collected in St. Kitts. It has nothing to do with customs duties collected in St. Kitts. It has nothing to do with corporate taxes paid in St. Kitts, business licenses and other fees in St. Kitts. The people of Nevis have never asked the government in St. Kitts to send any portion of that. We have said, give us an equitable share of the monies that come from the Citizenship by Investment Program.
But can Nevis's economy stimulate enough activity to support its future growth and development if the CBI funds are not available? The Premier believes that Nevis's economy has been performing.
So, what came and nothing was the same thing. But Nevis is still here. Nevis continued to survive. And it means, therefore, that it was and continues to be the resilience of the Nevisian people and the Nevisian economy that keeps us afloat. What has happened is that since 2015, we have sought to formalize some mechanisms for Nevis to get some share. As I've said, and I've said so publicly, not yet a fair share, but some share of the CBI proceeds. And that is the monies that have come. And when that money has come, it has been used for specific projects, which are dotted all across the landscape. The Mondo track is there. The pier at Wally is there. The work at the Treasury, new Treasury building in town is there. Work at the hospital is there. The work over at the airport, for example, is there. Police station in Newcastle is there. So there's evidence of what the money has come and been allocated to and earmarked to. The overall economy of Nevis, I think the best indication is where I started. This year, we had a very difficult year. One of our main engines was down, Four Seasons. But our people got paid. Our bills were paid. I know some vendors out there hearing me say they didn't get paid yet, but I'm planning on paying them too. Right? So the reality is, Mr. Bart, that we survive how we always survive. We had to go to our banks. We spoke to them. We asked them to extend our line of credit to give us a little latitude on our overdraft.
According to Brantley, it is the intention that the CBI proceeds will be shared based on the populations of both islands. He said the matter is still being discussed at the federal level. Glenn Bart for SKN Newsline.